June is usually a tough one to call out the best looking games launching over the month, due in part to how many surprise releases get dropped at the likes of the usual E3 and in this year, other online festivals such as Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest and from the likes of Guerrilla and the Wholesome Games collectives. Even so, June is shaping up to be another terrific month for AAAs and indie games alike. Welcome back to Get Indie Gaming and to our top 10 indie games highlight and showcase for June 2021. At number 10, and while already out on iOS and Android, the latest and largest game from that game company in terms of its ambitions and what it offers, Sky Children of the Light, comes out on the Nintendo Switch at some point this June. Sadly, as we pull this video together, we're not quite sure on the exact date, although we are looking forward to seeing how this will play out on the device. For what we've been saying since it first came out in 2019, well, it just feels the right and natural platform for this kind of experience. We understand this beautifully animated, socially driven adventure game will be cross-play, with you able to head out into the 7 different realms alone, or with 7 other players to keep you company. We think this plays better within a group as you can work together to solve puzzles and generally have fun interacting with other players. In an interesting twist, the launch this June is also said to be what's called free to start, which if that's the case, should help drive uptake, pickup and adoption. Have you already played this one on mobile? And if so or if not, will you be picking this up again on the Switch? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this or any other game down there in the comments. At number 9, and something we first played and saw back on the show floor of Gamescom when we last attended the show in 2019, One Hand Clapping is a 2D puzzle platformer that's coming out in early access on June the 10th and has players using their voice to sing into their microphone. In so doing, you can shape and alter the various aspects of the world using melody, rhythm and harmony. There's no physical input, which makes this super accessible for anyone who may not be able to use a controller or traditional mouse and keyboard. One Hand Clapping should see a full launch later in the second half of the year, with it also headed out on iOS, Android, and all of the usual consoles you may have at home, and also onto Google's Stadia streaming service. Long-term, or for that matter short-term fans of the channel will know how much we rave on and enjoy a good, purely couch or online co-op driven game. And this one looks likely to tick nearly all of our co-op nice-to-have boxes. That said, a quick word of warning though, this isn't online co-op only, and players will need access to a microphone. However, thanks to the Steam Friend Pass, any of your friends can play with you for free, including cross-play across other platforms. As you can see, Operation Tango is a first-person affair, with players taking control of either a field agent or hacker, with you working together via voice communication to solve various puzzles which cannot be completed alone. Let's have a look at how this might play out with some actual gameplay footage provided by Epic.
Okay, access code is 5521.
5521.
Here we go into the mainframe.
Let's get you up to the penthouse. I'm gonna need your help cracking this file open, and I think we've got to work together on this one.
Right, let's do this.
Okay.
It feels such a wonderfully ambitious concept, and, if executed with care, could be one of the best co-op games coming out this year. Operation Tango will be available on PC June 1st via Steam and Epic, with it also coming out at launch for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Up now and at number 7. And while we recently featured this in one of our Best of the Year Still to Come videos, it's dropping far earlier than we had expected, with it launching on June the 3rd. While there's no doubt many differences, we're getting some reasonably strong Firewatch vibes from this, with the game featuring a man called Adam, who has returned home to his English village, which looks pretty much the same as the one we used to live in more than a decade ago. Having made it home, Adam befriends a lady called Beth, who persuades Adam to set about the village armed with a metal detector, a walkie-talkie, hence the Firewatch line from earlier.
Hello, Two Forks Tower. Hello? Whoever this is?
amongst a few other things, as well as a spade and a mobile phone. At its heart, the Magnificent Trufflepigs is a branching story tale, and with it coming from the lead designer of Everyone's Gone to the Rapture, it looks very much like something we'll thoroughly enjoy with it headed out on PC via Steam. Next up at number 6, and with Stonefly, we have something that looks utterly gorgeous. The game's director has gone on record to say the design team had set out to create something visually unique and mechanically original, which they've managed to achieve on the face of things. The game focuses on Anika, a supposed brilliant but naive inventor, who's looking to find her lost family heirloom, which happens to be her father's mech. In doing so, you pilot your own mech, which looks like an insect that you can upgrade as you explore. What's intriguing here with Stonefly is how the team have created an action game with combat that's also said to be a chilled out overall experience. Those two don't usually go hand in hand, although the combat does look gentle and restrained, so we think this might just pull this off, but it'll be a delicate balance. Stonefly is coming June 1st to PC on both Steam and Epic, as well as onto the PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch ecosystems. Moving swiftly on, and at number 5, Out of Line hits the shelves on June 23rd with its hand-drawn, and let's be honest, it looks like a moving painting or something from Studio Ghibli. Out of Line follows the tales and adventure of a boy or young man called San in what's a visually highly classy-looking 2D puzzle platformer. The game's main mechanic uses San's spear, which can be used to activate switches, climb to inaccessible places, etc, etc. From what we've seen of this so far, the platforming doesn't seem overly strenuous, and could be one of those games that's wonderful to check in with and unwind at the end of the day. Out of Line is heading to PC by way of Steam, with it also coming to Xbox One, the Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation 4. At number 4, Summertime Madness is a rather attractive looking first-person puzzle game that sees you, after apparently having done a deal with the devil, play as a painter stuck and trapped inside one of his own creations. To escape, you'll guide the painter across an island that evolves and changes as you solve various environmental-based puzzles and set about to find the game's hidden secrets. We're hoping the puzzling is as good and as interesting as the visuals, with Summertime Madness coming out via Steam on June 17th, with, we think, based upon the information we have at hand, also coming to PlayStation and Xbox at some point down the line. If you fancy a look at this before it launches, you can download a demo from the Steam homepage, and as usual, you can find a link to this and all of the other games in this video down in the description. Okay, we have to admit it, while twin-stick shooters have been a passion project of ours for a few decades, sadly following an accident a few years ago, one of us, and by that I mean me, the usual narrator here at Get Indie Gaming, just isn't very good at them anymore. I lack the fine motor control and sensitivity in my left thumb necessary to be any good at playing them. That said, I can recognise a great-looking twin-stick shooter when I see one, and this feels to be the case here with Curved Space, which comes out towards the end of the month on June the 29th. For starters, and having spent a good few hours with the PC demo, which is still available as this video goes live on the Steam homepage, it looks impressive not just in how the world has been created, with all those curved surfaces and bullets that hunker down and skim across its shells, but also those enemies. Just look at those space-like spiders who look in all honesty all mean and moody, and genuinely that they mean proper business. Like all good games of this type, Curved Space also feels full of the you can't blink kind of energy, which again is such a hallmark of the genre. Curved Space is coming to PC, both Xbox and PlayStation platforms, and also onto the Nintendo Switch. Up next, and at this month's runners-up position, from something that's fast and frantic to something else that's equally fast-paced, we have Mighty Goose. This looks like a good old-fashioned run-and-gun shooter from yesteryear, with it reminding us of the likes of Contra, Gunstar Heroes, and of course the Metal Slug series. That said, by the looks of things, the team behind Mighty Goose have heaped plenty of modern mechanics to bring this up to date for 2021. By all accounts, the game has also been designed, and I quote, to test your skill, timing, and reflexes. So if that's true, I'll probably suck at playing it unless there are some accessibility modifications. Here's hoping so, although I really look forward to locking and loading and playing Mighty Goose when it launches on June 5th for PC by way of Steam, the Switch, PlayStation 4, and also the Xbox One platform. At number 1, and one of our most anticipated games out over the course of the year, we have Backbone, which launches on June 8th via Steam, the Epic Games Store, and also via Xbox Game Pass for PC. It feels this game's release is kind of out of nowhere, as we've been following it for years and had thought there might be some greater buzz and anticipation around it. Be that as it may, having played the game's prologue on numerous occasions, we're excited to see where the developers taken the detective story that's set in an alternate Vancouver, populated by various animals. From what we can see as hinted at in this launch trailer, it does look to amp up the darkness of the prologue, and there's some very kind of oppressive vibe at play here amongst the sultry jazz vocal soundtrack. The developers have said the game is looking to deliver a modern take on adventure games, and we're most interested to see how the team have implemented the branching NPC discussions and dialogue, which was a high point alongside the beautiful pixel art of the prologue. If you still to play it and want to dip your toes into Backbone before it launches, you can, as this video airs, still do so by downloading the prologue from the game's Steam homepage, which of course, there's a link down in the description. So there we go, and just wow, what a month for new indie game releases. If you like the video, please click the like button, it really helps, and if you've yet to do so, now's a perfect time to subscribe with the notifications turned on to stay fully in the loop as we showcase the best of indie gaming. Either way, many thanks for watching, and we'll see you all here next time.